Hello, this is Sabina and I'm going to give feedback on Eric's teaching unit plan. Eric chose grade 6 and the topic energy and environment, which is kind of funny because I also chose environment as a topic in my own TUP. Great minds think alike, I suppose. First of all, I liked his plan overall because it had many different things involved, like reading, listening, communicating, writing, and going outside the classroom. These are the things that should be involved in a plan, and they were also connected, which is good. He chose to collaborate with social sciences and home economics, which clearly were integrated. For example, geography from social sciences and then food waste from home economics. But what do I think of the topic? Since I chose it myself, I think it's an important topic and can never be timeless. Some pupils may think it's boring and others think it's fun, but it's still necessary to talk about in school. It maybe isn't rethinking, but we're not scientists and don't know how the environment could be rethought, so it's still important. And Eric chose to write more about lesson 3, so I guess that's the lesson that I'm giving more detailed feedback on. If you go down. He had a clear aim for that lesson, but it may be hard for some pupils to be able to communicate in groups in just one lesson. For some pupils it takes longer and they might be shy or doesn't like each other, and also understand other pupils' thoughts. It's kind of hard to understand. What does he mean by that? Read minds? I don't quite catch that. If we go down to the core content, he picked 3 things, and the first 2 worked, but the third maybe has a little too much for just one lesson. This one. The lesson focuses on communication mainly, but also listening and speaking. It's good that they have a warm-up exercise so that they feel more comfortable with speaking English, and it's good that they will listen to each other's thoughts, and not just focusing on themselves and what they're going to say. It may give them more perspective on things. They have quite much scaffolding, which is good. He wrote talking to a neighbor and the teacher walking around. Here. But it's also the picture cards, the movie, and the iPads. So he has a lot of scaffolding. He listed technology as a potential problem, which is very true, but is that the only thing? It could also be, for example, pupils who doesn't want to work with each other. That's the first thing a teacher must think of when it's a group work or party work. Who cannot work with whom? Otherwise, it was a good plan with a formative assessment, and if we look at the final assessment here, the pupils will do a test, and tests are both good and bad. I just wonder why he chose a test and not, for example, a presentation or a dramatization. I would have liked to see a small explanation of why. Last thing, everything is in English, but how is English integrated? He could have done this plan in Swedish. The subjects work in Swedish as well. He could have some kind of vocabulary list or something that makes it more English. And that's all.